Dana here again with more Tuesday tips for leaders of volunteers, and I've just had a really interesting conversation as part of my VsysVoices work, and I was on a webinar with Jerome Tennille, Todd McMullin, Joan Cardellino. We're all part of a Voices team, and this idea came up that there's the value of volunteering, which we've talked about in that kind of dollars and cents and social impact and mission impact way. But I want to actually get to this idea of voices and choices and the core values, kind of really getting to the heart of people giving their time and talent as volunteers, and the values of the institution, not just the core mission, but it kind of a mix of the culture and the values in the core mission with the values of the people who you are working with, the community, your volunteers, paid employees. Are those values that you hope to reflect or impact, are those really aligning properly with the values of a changing world in a changing situation? And the specific topic of the webinar that I was just on, and this is a topic of many webinars that I do and the other experts on the call do, was around, recruitment in troubling times and constantly changing situations, not only with COVID, but extreme weather and social situations. But it really comes down to some of the core aspects of good recruitment and community engagement doesn't change. The foundational things that we do for that don't really change, but the tools in our toolbox do. So how we use technology, how we use social media, and how we really use marketing and messaging to ideally accurately reflect the values of the mission and the agency, organization, institution, whatever you want to call where you're working with. Are those values still aligning with the community itself that you're serving, your client or constituent base? And are those values still resonating or aligning with your volunteers? And if all of that, if someone's voice that they want to express, their choice that they're making of where they put their time and their talent, and the values, the heart, core, soul, spirit values aren't resonating, that's going to be part of a larger disconnect. So there are technical things that we can do for recruitment and reward and retention and recognition, and we can never eliminate the emotional or human or value, heart, soul source of volunteering as well. So just kind of some specific Tuesday tips around that have to do with, what are some practical steps you can take as an organization, as a leader of volunteers, to make sure that you're really learning and absorbing meaningful feedback about the voices, the choices, and the values that you have. Well, yeah, we've got volunteer surveys and things like that, but we really want to have some sort of system in place where you can have regular check-ins and real talk and have a culture, ideally, where people can genuinely express fears, concerns, things that are urgent to them, things that used to be important to their work at the agency, but maybe isn't as important anymore, and really be able to have a kind of a town hall, a virtual town hall experience or communication, and balance that with some of the other Tuesday tips I've talked about recently of making sure that the voices are heard equally, and that there's equal time for voices and choices and values to be expressed and heard. So there's a certain facilitation skill to having an open discussion or town hall, and there may be someone who's an employee or a volunteer that's already very skilled in that. Check amongst yourselves, kind of always check the talent pool that you have. But I think, at least quarterly or so, maybe even a couple times a year, at least once a year, but everything's changing so much with the inner world of how we're feeling about stuff and the outer world, that I think at least every few months, sometimes even once a month, really kind of being able to have an open discussion and being flexible about the time, and when understanding the time that you're holding that can impact who is able to attend and what level of technology they have. So these are kind of, deeper issues for a Tuesday tip, but it was such a great conversation with Jerome and Joan and Todd this morning that I really wanted to get these thoughts out there for all of you to ponder and think about. How are we hearing and valuing and recognizing the voices, the choices, and the core values resonating with our entire team and with the community that we serve. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and this is hopefully going to spark some larger conversations on how you do active listening and learning from each other in your organization. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Tuesday tips. Many more to come, and stay tuned. Hit the alert and bell and button below to know when new videos are uploaded. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.